Okay, in today's class, very quick class, we're going to look at how we agree with an affirmative or a negative sentence that a person says. Let's look at a direct sentence then. I like jazz. Okay, so in this sentence, oh shit, I already have it. In this sentence, we have our subject, of course, our verb, and our object. So when I agree with this sentence, I can agree with, for example, I like jazz too, or I like jazz as well. Nothing wrong with this, except I'm repeating the subject, verb, object. It's kind of like a game of tennis. I like jazz, and I like jazz too. I like metal. Oh shit, I'm sorry. Oh my god, I fucking elbowed you in the face. I'm so sorry, and that was captured on camera. That makes me look like a horrible, horrible fucking person. Sorry, dude, but you ran into my fucking elbow there. I know, that was embarrassing. All right, so once again, dude, don't step on the fucking computer. Dude, get off the computer. For fuck's sake. What did you do? Here. I like jazz too. All right, thanks, Kat. All right, so in this case, I don't want to repeat the whole sentence. I want to find an easier way to do that. You two, stop fighting. I want to find an easier way to do that. So instead of saying I like jazz too, or I like jazz as well, I could say me too. Yeah, like the movement. So I like jazz is just eu também, me too. And so in this case, you're not looking at yourself as a subject, you're actually looking at yourself as the object, me too. Or another way I could say this is, I like jazz, so do I. And so in this case, what does the do represent? The do, first of all, do we know is the absence of a specific verb or the main pretense of a verb. So in this case, do means like jazz. What we don't want is, so I do. No. So do I. Or, so does Ken. So do they. So do we. So does she. So this is our other way that we can express this. So with this way, we're using our pronouns, so our subject pronouns. But if I want object pronouns, so with the subject pronoun, we know we're saying, well, so does she, so does he, so do they, so do we. With the object pronouns, somewhere over here, we say me too. Because remember, in this case, I am the object of the sentence. And it could be what? Her too, him too, us too, them too, and the worst band in the world, you too. So that's how we can do it in the affirmative. So, for example, I love waking up at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. to run 8 kilometers. Me too. So do I. Beautiful. That's easy. So let's look at the negative then. So let's say we have and not, so when we say negative, we're not saying that we're saying something negative. We'll look at like what I like to call deactivated verb. So what's the opposite of like? It's not hate. The opposite of like is don't like. It's kind of apathy. So if we say, I like jazz, we say, well, so do I. We say, well, I don't like mediocrity. Shit, mediocrity, Ken. There we go. I don't like mediocrity. And so I'm not going to say me too. In this case, what am I going to say? And I can't say, so do I, because I don't have an affirmative auxiliary here. So I need, remember when we looked at this in the past, when we do a negative, let's say I say, I want nothing, we always have two ways to express a negative. We have either the active verb with a negative object, or we have the deactivated verb, I don't want, and we have the affirmative object. So when we look at these kind of in context, for us, the negative is always 0 and 1. There's one side negative and one side positive. In fact, I'm uploading that video today or tomorrow or something else based on that. So I'm telling you something that hasn't been uploaded, but you don't watch any of my videos, so who gives a fuck? Where are you watching this one? Hey! So, yeah, look, our negative sentence is binary. Like when you have a remote control for your television. One side must be positive and one side negative. So here we have an active verb with our negative object. So this one, of course, is us being dramatic. It's not polite. This one is not a negative verb, but it's a deactivated verb. And this, of course, is our positive object. So in this case, we can say, I don't like mediocrity. So instead of so do I, what we want is, well, neither do I. So now, this is how I agree. I don't like this, well, neither do I. And I could say, for example, I don't like mediocrity too. Or mediocrity, Jesus Christ, pick an easier word. I don't like mediocrity either. And so, in this case, we have the negative deactivated, and we have either here with our affirmative. And here we start with our negative, neither. So neither is either with an N for no. So it's negative. And here we have our affirmative auxiliary. Once again, 0, 1. So this is me starting with neither does he, neither does she, neither do I. And here we have I don't like this either. So we can say, for example, but if I were to write something negative, for example, I hate, what do I hate? There's very little in this world. I don't know the things I hate because I only really engage with the things I fucking love. I hate the things I love, maybe? I hate, nothing. What's a negative thing? What's a negative thing you could fucking say? This is where I should be prepared in my fucking classes, but once again, no one watches it but me. I'm just talking to myself and a fucking cat. Love is easy. Like, all right, I hate, no, this is kind of easy. I hate Brazilian funk. I do. There's very little in the world that makes me like, oh. And Brazilian funk it is. Like, it's not even mediocrity. It's just, it's fetid. It's a horrible sound. It really is. It sounds like the brakes, like it sounds like the smell of broken gearbox. Like if you ever break your gearbox and like the smell of that liquid that comes out, that smell is exactly how Brazilian funk sounds. If you can understand that. Because it has the same sensation for me as if there's been a horrific accident and what I'm hearing now is the result of that accident. So I hate Brazilian funk. So this is not it's not a negative verb, it's an affirmative verb, or it's an active verb. Whether it's good or bad or positive or negative is entirely subjective. When we look at like the idea of negative, we can say, well, the don't or doesn't like, doesn't hate, doesn't love. This would be negative, but even still, it's not really negative because it's just a deactivated verb. That's all it really is. So in this case, I hate Brazilian funk. So we're going to say Kian is being pessimistic, negative, and very just a Debbie Downer. All right, so how are we going to respond to that? Well, we respond to that with, so do I. So do we. Or, me too. And that's it. We're going to look at our positives. So in our negatives, I don't like this. Neither do I. I don't like it either. So I don't want anything. Neither do I. And so let's look at this. Actually, yeah, let's look at this one. I don't want anything. Neither do I. I want nothing. So do I. And so, like, in both these cases, eu não quero nada. For us, this first one here, and once again, I'll upload this fucking other video today, we have our negative and our affirmative. And this one here, we have our active verb, but then we're saying the word no. We're keeping this heavy and dark. And so I want nothing. And so in this case, this is also like, so do I. I want nothing too. Whereas in this case, I don't want anything. Here we have our negative, and we assume neither, we could say here, if we wanted to really extend it, neither do I want anything. If we chose to, that's what we would do. If we had this complex old English sentence, we could do that, but we don't. Neither do I. And so there's the idea that we have our neither as our negative and do is our active affirmative auxiliary. And that's it. Here I have my active, my active, my negative, and here's so do I. And if I did put my verb in there, it would be want nothing. So I want fucking nothing. And that's it. So in the affirmative, what we'll say? Me too, and so do I. So does she. In the negative, we'll say, me neither. Oh yeah, fuck, I forgot to teach that. Or neither do I. Crap. All right, let's refresh that. All right, so let's look one more example where Kian fucking remembered what he was supposed to teach. Write down your notes. Jesus Christ, Kian. Let's look at an affirmative one. So I, and usually what it's like and love. So I love Mastodon. All right, me too. Us too. Her too. Whoever it might be. Or, so do I. So does she. So do we. That's it. We're in agreement. I don't like, once again, I have no idea what I don't like, because I don't like it. Give me something that fucking won't tread on toes here. What was the name of that shit band that liberated fucking Afghanistan during the American invasion of Afghanistan? By the way, America and England, pointing fingers at Russia, which is all good for fucking all their terrible war crimes. Not to get very political, but how can these politicians point fingers at fucking Russia for the horrific things that are happening in fucking Ukraine and still willingly pursue Julian Assange for no fucking reason whatsoever, except for pointing out the hypocrisy, the corruption, and the war crimes that America has done on every fucking continent known to fucking man. And in spite of and in light of how really TikTok has allowed this generation to really see inside war, unfiltered, direct, seeing tanks rolling over cars a day before they even make it to the fucking news station to go through the producer's hands and build some narrative, to see that raw fucking footage. In spite and in light of all that, these bastions of freedom of America and England, still avidly chasing and fucking harassing and torturing Julian Assange for, as a reporter, simply doing what is supposed to be done, which is releasing documents that showed American barbarity, cruelty, targeting innocent civilians in Iraq and Afghanistan, and essentially all around the fucking world. I don't know how I got onto that fucking topic, but free Assange, and fuck America, and fuck Putin, fuck all of them. Seriously, they're all fucking pieces of shit. And it's an election time. There's an election in your country, in everyone's country, and they're all pieces of shit. Don't try to assume that one side is better than the other, and they will smooth you over with their talks of fucking gathering their beliefs and their ideals. Idealism as a, oh, hold on, we were doing some grammar here. God damn it, Ken. Get back on track. I love Mastodon. Jesus. I don't like, what was that? I was about to say a fucking example before I got onto that rant about fucking Julian Assange, free Julian Assange. What the fuck was that? I don't like, fuck, what is it? What don't I like? I don't like, is there a food I don't like? I don't, I don't like, I don't know. Is there anything in my room I don't like? Well, okay. I don't like white walls. I don't. Put something on them. I'm kind of getting better here, but a white wall is a canvas. It's begging to be painted on or spat on or bled on or something. But Jesus Christ, don't live in a house with fucking white walls. I don't like white walls. And so we'll say either me neither or neither do I. And so we could say, instead of me neither, we could say us neither? Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, it has to be. Her neither. But we don't usually do that. With neither, it's always like me neither. That's it. Her neither, him neither. But generally with other people, we'll always, instead of saying her neither, him neither, them neither, we'll always use me neither just for me. And then we'll say neither does she. Neither do they. It's not grammatically incorrect to say her neither, because remember here we're just using objects. So the other objects would be her, him, them, and us. There's nothing grammatically incorrect, just on the ear, I've never heard it before in my fucking life. Then again, I really haven't had any proper conversations with people, so, I'm only basing my knowledge on the conversations I've had in my head. And I am quite narcissistic, so everything tends to be about me. But no, it's more common when we want to talk about someone else's experience, what somebody else doesn't like. Well, then when we agree, it's going to be more neither does, neither do or neither does, neither do they. Yeah, they don't live here. So, for example, she doesn't live in this city. Well, neither do we. Neither does he. Neither does he. Or me neither. So, to sum that shit up, in our affirmative sentences, we'll say me too, and so do I, or so did I, or the same thing. Whatever grammar structure we have, if we have, for example, I have 2 kids, 3 cats, and 3 dogs. And you say, well, so do I. Because why? Because our verb is an active verb. But if I say, for example, I've been here 3 times. So what's my auxiliary here? Present perfect. So have I. I haven't seen this movie before. Shit. So in this case, neither have I. Or, again, me neither. Neither have we, neither have they. So this is always going to mirror the auxiliary we're using. So in this case, we have a negative, once again, negative auxiliary with our verb, or with our fucking thing. And here, we're starting with the negative. So we have the neither, and then we have the affirmative auxiliary. Did I say negative? No, we're starting with the negative here, so neither, and then our auxiliary here is affirmative. So once again, always think about like your negative sentences, like the batteries in a remote control. Anytime we want to say no, we have to have one side affirmative, and we have to have like one side positive, the other side negative, or one side negative and the other side positive. And that's how we're allowed to build or construct a negative idea or like a negative sentence. We have to deactivate that verb. And that's it. I really hope you learned something from that class. No, I do. I should do. And as always, love the people who love you. Everybody else is just a piece of shit. And that's it. Fuck politicians.